Good morning, my peeps. I'm going to dig around in my Magic Pink Cosmetics bag and see if I can find some mask or something I can put on while I talk to you guys this morning. Today's topic is pride goes beforeth a fall. All right. I can get so full of myself sometimes, and as soon as that happens, I will generally get slapped down really, really hard. And that happened to me last night. So last night I'm looking through my Facebook page, and I'm, looking at high school friends primarily, people who I've subbed to and people who I would like to, not sub to, but who I've friended on Facebook and who I would like to friend. And I ran across this woman who I had gone to school with. She was, as a teenager, just bright and beautiful. Came from a good family, nice Catholic girl, real fun, funny, strong personality, cute, bordering on pretty but not beautiful, always well put together, smart, real smart, in the honor society. Just, one of the A-listers. And likable on top of all that. Well, I ran across her on Facebook, and I was floored. This woman, she's living in a foreign country. I don't know what she does for a living, but she seems rather down and out. I recognized her face because I remembered her bone structure and all that, but she was pretty well unrecognizable. Very leathery, looked like she spent her entire life in the sun, skin really wrinkled, really overly tan. And she had a dead tooth here, so it was all discolored. Hard to tell what her thing is, but it doesn't seem to be, like the successful doctor's wife I would have imagined her to become, the little sleek page boy and the nice tooth restorations and a little bit of plastic surgery, that's what I would have expected. And what I got was something entirely different. Well, I immediately thought to myself, well, gosh, woo, I sure dodged that bullet. My skin looks good and I've got great tooth restorations. And then I sat down this morning and I looked in my super, 50 million X magnifying mirror only to see all the wrinkles, all the dead dry skin, all the discolorations, the weird eyebrows that are turning white, all the hair that used to be there that isn't there, all the chin hair, all of this whole mustache thing going on. And I thought to myself, man, don't even compare yourself to somebody else, because girl, you've got your own crumbling decay issues going on. So that really slapped me across the face. I will not do that again. I'm not going to compare myself to anybody else. I am who and what I am, and she is who and what she is. And the next person I run across, who's going to probably still look like she's 26, she is who and what she is, and that doesn't matter. I mean, all that matters really about this woman, and I have no idea what the answer to this question is, but it's who is she inside? What's she all about? Is she loving? Has she had a productive life in terms of becoming herself? Not productive like she was successful financially necessarily, but productive to me means that somehow you achieve the fruition of your possibilities, the talents and that you were born with, the skills that you develop while you're a kid, the things that you have to overcome to cope, that in your mid and later life you can look back and say, you know what? I really was the best me I could have been, and the me that I'm going to be in the future will continue to grow until the day I die or the day I lose my mind to Alzheimer's. So, yeah, that's the lesson there. Don't ever think me. I'm going to say me. I will never think, oh, look at that. I aged better than she did, because that's just stupid. It's just stupid to even think it. And it's also not true. Yeah. And on the vein of feeling successful, like I've been productive, I had a really, really interesting conversation last night. My husband's super into Facebook. He's got thousands of friends and all over the place, and he talks to them constantly. And they're, by and large, really cool people. Well, there's this one guy he's become particular friends with. This guy lives in Alaska above the North Pole with his wife, and his sons happen to live there too, but they're grown. Anyway, he is an aspiring writer, much like I am. And we got into this long conversation last night on the phone about the struggles of the unpublished writer. Finishing a project, how hard that is, finding voice for a project, figuring out how to say what you're trying to say poetically, succinctly, and in a way that doesn't sound like, you're writing stereo instructions. And the coolest part was we were talking about this portion in his latest story where he's trying to solve a problem about how two characters interact, and it happens to be in a I don't know, semi-erotic kind of scene, and the two characters, the point of the two characters interacting in the first place is to solve a problem that they have between the two of us, two of them, a problem of what's the word? Self-acceptance, I guess. And so these two characters, through this interaction that they have, and it's not like steamy, nasty, sexy, it's more sensual, really, than sexy. But anyhow, through this encounter, they manage to answer questions, and fully kind of integrate themselves to feeling good about who they are. So, what was really interesting was that he'd come to this block. He just didn't know which way to take it. And I made a suggestion about women and how women, every one of us has something about our bodies that we hate. Saggy, flabby arms, or double chins, or hairiness, or big fat butts, which I don't have. I have a big fat gut, but same thing, different side of the body. Whatever. Thinning hair, thin lips, whatever it is, the things that, saggy boobs, whatever. The things that increase over time. I mean, the flaws that tend to increase over time, blah, blah. So I told him that he might want to have these characters explore and accept the flaws that they have in one another, that they each have, and accept them in one another, because they kind of mirror one another. And this guy was ecstatic, because that hadn't occurred to him. And he had told me that he wanted to talk to women about this particular scene to try to figure out, he's talked to his wife about it. She's given him some really good advice, but he just wants a bigger pool of input. So when I made the suggestion to him, he was real happy, and he said, yeah. He said, whoa, now I know where to take this now. So I'm really anxious to read what he writes about it, because it'll be neat to see if he can handle it delicately, or if he just trounces all over it because he doesn't really understand how women feel. It'll just be interesting to read. So anyhow, how that plays into this is, that's one of the things I've developed, is the ability to listen, synthesize, an idea, a plan, or a suggestion, and then frame it back to the person I'm talking to in a way that they can understand. That is a talent of mine. And it was really cool to be able to do that with somebody that I barely know, you know, thousands and thousands of miles away. That was cool. And that made me feel good. In contrast to, you know, looking in the mirror and seeing, you know, wrinkles or whatever and thinking, oh, well, I don't have as many as this other woman. That made me feel bad. That was not the right road to drive down. So anyhow, that's my thought for the day. Yeah. Keep your feelings, not you, me. I'm going to try to keep my feelings of success and self-worth based in what's really valuable about being human, and, you know, really try to avoid all the other stuff that is more divisive than anything else. So that's my thought for the day. I didn't put my masks on, but I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I got hats to crochet. I will see you guys later. Bye.